Hello guys and gals, welcome aboard. Got to do a little stuff today. Had a bunch of avionics work. I actually went down to Louisiana. They called me at the last minute to go down there to get my servos changed, on the recall thing for the autopilot. And I'll be doggone, I just ran to the airport, jumped in the airplane, took off Louisiana, realized I left my GoPros at the house. So all the way to Louisiana, stopped in Memphis, got fuel, all the way back non-stop, about 3 or 4 days later, and I didn't film any of it. Sorry about that. But what I'm going to do today, I just got back a couple days ago, and it's cold right now, it's been cold. The ILS, when they updated, what they did was they changed my servos, and then I changed my G5s, got new G5s because they had a software problem with it, with my ESP. And so when they did that, they had to update all my software from everything that talks to each other. Which means I got 2 new G5s with new software. They had to update the software in the 650XI, update the software in the 345 transponder. So all this stuff could talk to each other, and update the software got automatically updated from the G5 to the 500 autopilot. Well, I was ready to come back home, and what was supposed to take about 3 hours ended up taking 2 full days. Go figure. Welcome to aviation, right? So they got everything done after a few test flights, and the only thing that I could see when they tested on the ground, they had the ILS machine next to them that was shooting the signal, and my needles weren't automatically changing from magenta to green. And they said, well, they called Garmin, they figured they tried to do all this stuff, and Garmin's telling them it's probably a glitch in the software. I'm supposed to film it not working. Well, maybe it'll work. Don't know. So that's what I'm going to do. It is freezing cold, I tell you. I'm going to go up. All I'm going to do today is shoot the ILS to 1.5 here at Davenport and just see. And I got no wing camera today. I'm going to use this one right here to kind of film what I'm doing. Alright, so everything's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to flight plan. I'm at Davenport. I'm going to tell it to go to Clinton, toward Clinton. I'm going to enter that, and then I'm going to tell it to come back to Davenport. I'm going to enter that. And then I'm going to go over at, I'll stay at 3,000 feet. Yeah. I'm going to do it at an indicated airspeed of 90 knots. And initially I'm going to go on heading. So I'll go over here and I'll make sure that all that's in the scoreboard there. Heading, indicated airspeed 90, altitude select 3,000. I got the altimeter set right. So that's all good. Alright, now so Davenport, I'm going to tap that on the way back. I'm going to load a procedure, and I'm going to put approach. I'm going to do the ILS to 1.5. And I'm not going to do vectors. I'm going to go to the VOR. I'm just going to load it. I'm not going to activate it. Alright, so then I'm going to make sure it's in there. There it is right there. Okay. I'll load it into this iPad automatically through my flight stream. And this one here, I'm going to load it into that one. Make sure it's all in there. Okay. So there that is. Double check it here and make sure it's good. So go on to Clinton. Then there's the VOR. There's OTALI, which is a final approach fix or initial approach fix. Alright. Now I'm going to go to map. And I'm going to look at it, make sure that it all makes sense. Right? There it is. There's the VOR. There's my procedure turn. Let's see if it works. I want to come back inbound. Instead of activating the approach here, what I do is wherever I want to go to, like the VOR, I just hit direct enter it automatically. It automatically does everything for me. Alright. I'll set this up for Clinton. My portable here. Alright. Just for other reference, what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 doggone things in here telling me where to go if I get lost. I need to eat more grits. Okay. Got all that did. Now, got everything in here set up. Start heading toward runway 15. Both brakes. Left brake. Right brake. Alright. You can see here on the iPad, it's got a procedure turn way out here, but you'll notice it flies a little bit different on the 650 than it does the iPads. It measures distance just a tad bit different or something, but always go off your navigator, not the iPad, but it's good situational awareness. Alright, I'm going to normalize here. Do a mag check. Back to both. Alright. All that looks good. I got a avionics switch done. A new one put in. I got my emergency bus pulled out. Too many relays. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike taxi from the T's, runway 15, Davenport. What was happening was, about 3 different times in flight, all my avionics went out. Not good. And so I'd have to turn the master switch off and reach under here and turn my emergency bus back on, but I had to load everything back up. And come to find out the problem was that rocker switch they put in with the other rocker switch wasn't, it wouldn't hold enough amps or something. It was overloading it. So we decided the best thing to do is put a direct toggle in, which they did, made it look nice. And took the emergency bus out since I just did away with that relay. Doesn't need it no more. So far, all that's worked real good. Somebody called me on the phone. That's my wife. I'll have to call her shortly after we do this little test. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike, cross runways 0321, taxi 15, Davenport. Alright, runway's clear. Air's clear.
Runway 0321. Entered runway 0321. Entrance, green. Autopilot configured. Fuel selector, fullest tank. Fuel pump on. Carburetor heat, cold. Primer locked. Mixture set. Propeller full forward. Seat belts fastened. Set. Trim tabs set neutral. Controls free and correct. Door closed and latched. Cockpit fan off. Brakes released. Heading bug set. Altimeter set. Put the spurs to this mule. Checklist complete.
Put the spurs to this mule. Y'all know I like that business. All right, fuel pump's coming on. Time. Instruments. Trim set for takeoff. Heading bug set. Seatbelts buckled. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 Mike. Departing runway 15 to the north, Davenport.
Runway 15.
All right, air's clear.
Runway 15.
Runway's clear.
5,400 feet remaining.
We'll get her lined up here. All right, there we go. Okay, fuel pump is on. Give her a little power. In with the mixture. Let's go. T's and P's in the green. Airspeed indicators coming alive.
Traffic, R282 Bravo's 8 miles south east, entering left downwind, runway 21, Galesburg.
Alright, I'll come off that prop to about 2,200. Start to make my left-hand turn, turn some heat on. We'll go over to Quad Cities.
River 545, turn left heading 250.
Left heading 250, River 545.
Quad Cities approach, Dakota 6919 Mike.
Over 6919 Mike, Quad City approach, squawk 4521.
4521 for 19 Mike.
Dakota 19 Mike, radar contact 1 mile east Davenport Airport, altimeter 3017. Say request.
17 on the meter, through 2,500 for 3,000. I'm gonna go over toward Clinton. I'm gonna turn around, come back direct to the Davenport VOR, and I'm gonna shoot the ILS to 15 with a full procedure turn. That'll be full stop back at Davenport.
Dakota 19 Mike, roger.
All right, coming up to 3,000.
Dakota 19 Mike, can you climb and maintain at or above 3,500? I already got a King Air doing an ILS approach.
All right, up to 3,500 for 19 Mike.
Thank you.
All right, we'll do an indicated airspeed. Back to our climb here while we're still in
And just for planning purposes, for Ever 545, we're going to do the ILS to a missed approach. We need to execute the published missed for 1 lap in the hold, and then we'll do another ILS in for a full stop.
Servo 545, ready to turn left heading 240.
240, 545.
Okay. All right, coming up to 3,500. All right, leveling off there. And we'll come off that prop to about 2,100 because I don't need to burn a bunch of fuel here. Just messing around. 2050 actually will be fine. There we go. I'll come off a little bit of manifold pressure to keep me slow.
Servo 545, be advised there's a Dakota about a mile south of the Davenport VOR at or above 3,500. It's going to do the transition ILS off the VOR at or above 35.
Alright, we're going to step down to 2,700 for Rev 545.
Roger.
Okay, that wasn't good. It just did a command somewhere. I did not tell it to do that. Huh. Okay. It worked fine on the way home. Now it's not working at all. Make sure I didn't.
Servo 545, 6 from Hotel, turn left heading 180, maintain VFR, clear the ILS 15 approach to Davenport Airport.
Alright, left heading 180, maintain
Okay.
VFR, clear the ILS
Let's see
15
what
to
all
Davenport,
this
Rev
is
545.
again here. Clinton, I think I hit Davenport. I think that's what I did. All right, let's go to nav. Yep, I think that's what I did. Wasn't paying attention, and I hit direct back to Davenport. So that would have been a stooge problem on my part, which is good because it worked fine on the way home as far as navigating and other approaches. It did everything fine. All I need to do is check out the ILS. So far, so good. Okay. I got the Clinton Airport in front of me. We got two other airplanes doing the ILS to 15. King Air is going to land, and then this guy behind me, student's going to do two ILSs.
Servo 545, change advised frequency approved and publish missed approach approved, advised when you're back airborne.
Alright, over to advisory, we'll advise back airborne, Rev 545.
Alright, so there we go. He's done cleared for his approach. So we'll just kind of tool around out here for a little bit. Not a big deal. Not in a hurry. Don't want no pressure from nobody. Don't want to put no pressure on nobody. Because I need to make sure my stuff is going to be working here.
And Dakota 19er Mike, altitude's at your discretion, just advising you want to do the approach for the ILS.
19er Mike, we'll go. Okay, so I want to go back down to 3,500 in just a second here. plate up for Davenport where I can kind of go over it, look at it. Yeah, all that looks good. Yeah, I can go down to 3,000 now. Vertical speed of 500 feet per minute. All right. We'll simplify this a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna make a right-hand turn here. Leveling off at 3,000 feet again. I'll get her straightened out and then I'll begin the approach direct to the VOR at Davenport. And of course, this approach Dakota 19 Mike is going to be direct to the VOR now.
Dakota 19 Mike, roger.
Okay, so I'll show you how I'm going to do that since I got this up here. So what I'm going to do, there's the approach and everything I got loaded in there. Right now I'm on heading bug, right? So I'm going to go over the flight plan. I'm going to go down to the VOR. I'm going to hit it, hit direct. I'm going to hit activate. Now it's hit nav on the autopilot. Now the approach is automatically, it's activated itself already, see? So it's going to go to OTALI for the initial approach fix after the VOR and all that stuff. And you can verify that here, you know? So I'm just interested right now, I got magenta needles, which is what I'm supposed to have. I'll tighten that heading bug up. And I want it to switch over to green needles automatically. It'll automatically put the frequency in there. It'll identify it itself to make sure it's right. So that's what I want to try to make sure that it's going to do. Okay. So now that we got everything set up, I'm not going to worry about altitudes or none of that BS. All I want to do is make sure that the needles are going to change over. It's going to actually fly the procedure turn inbound and grab the glide slope. That's all I'm interested in right now.
Departure, Rev Aero 545, we're on the missed approach now.
River 545, Quad City departure radar contact. It's about a mile and a half southwest of the airport. Advised established in the hold.
We'll advise established in the hold, Rev Aero 545.
Now once I get to OTALI, or close to OTALI, I'll already be at 2,700 feet, which is where I'm supposed to be at OTALI. And I'm still in the nav mode on the autopilot. And I'm gonna, once I get to the VOR and it makes its turn towards OTALI, the initial approach fix, for the procedure turn, and then I'm gonna actually activate the approach at that point. Not activate the approach, I'm gonna activate approach on the autopilot. That's what I meant to say. student aircraft that was shooting the ILS to 15 now is going to publish missed. I see him on PCAS now. Well, I wish I could have filmed that flight down in Louisiana. Not a bump there, not a cloud in the sky, not a bump back. A little cloudy, but ceilings were, most places were clear. But when it was cloudy, it was like a 17, 18,000 foot ceiling. I went over at 6,500 and I came back at 7,500. When I left Lafayette to come back to Davenport, when I hit nav, like 3 miles from Lafayette Airport, I never veered off. It was like a arrow. I never had to turn for nothing. They cleared me into Class Bravo both ways, coming and going at St. Louis, you know, because it was just on the edge, wasn't real busy. Nice. Very nice flight. Okay, I'm going to go down to 2,700 now.
Dakota 19er Mike, climb to VFR 3,300.
3,300 for 19er Mike. Well, I kind of messed that up. But it's all right. Ain't no big deal. Looks like the student airplane is done with the hold, and it looks like he's back inbound.
Dakota 19er Mike, King Air is over Otail at this time in the hold. Going to do one turn and then shoot the approach. So as soon as he's out of the way, I'll have your altitude for you.
19er Mike, we'll call.
And departure Rev Aero 545, we're established in the hold.
River 545, roger.
And I can't activate approach yet because I can't come out of 3,300 feet.
River 545, when you join the inbound course again, you're going to shoot the approach, correct?
Affirmative, Rev Aero 545.
River 545, roger. Cleared ILS 15 approach Davenport, maintain VFR. Traffic over the Davenport VOR is Dakota 3,300, starting his transition.
All right, when established, clear for the ILS 15, and we'll be looking for that traffic, Rev Aero 545.
All right, right turn in 6 seconds, which is correct. I'll go ahead and put some traffic on here. And I'll go ahead and start slowing down a little bit because we're getting kind of, might be getting a little jammed up here. So I'll come back to about 20 inches of manifold pressure. And I'm going to switch gas tanks. Okay.
Dakota 19 Mike, the King Air's 1 o'clock, 8 miles, turning it back inbound, 2,700 on the final approach course here shortly.
19 might be looking.
River 545, be looking for traffic about 3 east of the final approach fix, Dakota 3,300 westbound for the approach.
I'll be looking for the traffic, River 545.
Well, let's see if I can find this guy. He's about...
Dakota 19 Mike, King Air's 1 o'clock, 3 miles on the final now at 2,700.
19 Mike, still looking no joy.
River 545, is this a full stop?
Hey, firm, full stop, River 545.
River 545, ready.
Alright, looking for the King Air. Still don't have him. I don't even have him on PCAS.
19 Mike, he's 12 o'clock, 2 miles, 2,600.
Yeah, I'm still looking. I don't have him, and I don't have him on PCAS either.
River 545, Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. That traffic's 9 o'clock, 2 miles at 3,300.
Squawk VFR, free change approved, River 545.
Dakota 19 Mike, he's 11 o'clock now, mile 2,700 inbound past the final approach fix.
Yeah, I still don't have him. I got the sun right in my face. Sorry.
Okay. Dakota 19 Mike, he's no factor now, altitude's your discretion, cleared for the ILS 15 approach, maintain VFR.
19 Mike, we'll go, thanks. Well, alright, let's go down to 2,700. And hit approach. See what it does. Alright, it's telling me I got a right turn in 3 seconds. That's what it shows on the map. Alright, and there we go. Making the turn. I got approach mashed here. I look at my scoreboard. Localizers in Q. Glide slopes in Q. My needles are still magenta, so we'll have to watch that. Hopefully they'll change over. Whenever it starts to catch the glide slope to the ILS. feet. Left turn now, and that is correct. You can see here on my iPad that it is a little early, right? But you see here on the 650 that it's doing its procedure turn like it should there. So always go by that. 650 your navigator. It's great situational awareness iPad, but when you're actually doing this stuff, you got to go off of this because this is what's driving the plane to do what it's doing. The G5 and the 650XI. And it says localizers and standby in the glide slope, so we will see if it does it. I hope so, because, man, I don't feel like going back to no avionics shop again. You would think, you know, putting $90,000 in this plane on avionics, that it would all be great, but that's the way it is. You know, you mess with these old airplanes, put new stuff in it, you're just going to have bugs. You got to work them out. It's just the way it goes. All right, so now we're in the procedure turn, fixing to turn inbound. See there on the 650XI. I'm going to go ahead and slow it down a little bit more. Try to get to actual approach speed. All right, 95 knots. That's good. All right, she's turning on the inbound course now. Overshot just a tad. Should be going straight to tally, which that's the final approach fix, and it is doing that. Wandering around a little bit here.
Dakota 190 Mike, Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. You have a good day.
190 Mike, we'll see you. Davenport traffic, Dakota 190 Mike, 2,700, 8 mile final on the ILS to 154, stop Davenport. Select frequency. It's telling me to select frequency. It's not doing it like it should. It's not. No, she's not going to do it, so, well, going to have a problem. Isn't that special? Okay. Alright, well at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a different approach. I'm going to do the visual to 1.5. I'm going to activate it. Now I'm just going to go straight to nav. Now I'm going to hit approach and see if it does that. And it ain't doing that either. It says it is, but it doesn't look like it. It should be going to a 3 nautical mile, and now it's grabbing the visual approach. It's running that, but it won't do the ILS on the automatic switch over, so they're going to have to fix that business. Well, that is very disappointing. Davenport traffic to go to 19 Mike, 4.5 mile final, 1.5 Davenport.
Iowa Regional, this is Skyhawk 4166 Lima, 12 miles.
All right, fuel pump is on, land light is on. So gas, undercarriage, mixture,
going to be over
prop, seat belts.
Right down with the 1.8. Iowa Regional.
Well, not a successful test flight, I would say. So I'll go into Chicago and get this fixed because I ain't going all the way back. That's $1,000, that's $1,100 every time I go down there. So I can't go down there just for that. I'll have to end up going somewhere else. Should be under warranty. We'll see.
Regional traffic order 21116, about 17 miles southeast.
All right, flap B, flaps 1. And again, gas is on the proper tank, fuel pump is on, undercarriage is down, the bolted mixture set, prop we can get now, seatbelts buckled. I got a horse. Sinus drip back down home, I guess, back down toward Louisiana. All right, well, she's on rails, so she's doing a very good job at the approach. So we know everything works, except something's wrong with the software. Flaps 2, and it won't switch over to the nav frequency for an ILS. They said that would film it and give it to Garmin because they said that's something they need to see because it shouldn't do that. So I guess that new software is just really new. I don't know.
500.
Davenport traffic to go to 19 Mike, mile and a half final, 1.5 Davenport. All right. Runway's made, full flaps. Still letting the autopilot have it. Excellent. All right, 80 knots, I'll take over, autopilot disconnect. All right, ESP's coming off. Give me some trim up here. All right, a little bit more trim up. That ought to do it. see if I can't breeze her on here. All right, 70 knots. Perfect. All right, landing light's coming off. Fuel pump is off.
Field for traffic, Cessna 34193, 1 mile to the northeast, departing the
Runway
area to the north.
03,
Last call, field for traffic.
All right, air's clear. Both
Runway
ends.
03,
Runway's clear.
21.
Guys and gals, I appreciate y'all coming along on this successful / unsuccessful flight. But one thing's for sure, I'm above ground and breathing. Good Lord, let me fly around. I ain't gonna complain. I'll get it fixed. Nothing to it. All right, flaps are up. Davenport traffic, Dakota 19 mile clear of all runways. Taxi to the T's from Rev, Davenport. All right, we'll go ahead and readjust the, reset the trim for takeoff. There we go. We got that did. Oh, I like to hear that 6-cylinder lope. That 6-cylinder engine just, I'm all about that business. All right, here we are. Thanks again for stopping with me. Thanks again for flying with me. We'll catch y'all on the next one. See ya.